Hey, welcome everyone. This is your girl Pam with Tempest Creek Homestead and more. And we have some special guests, Fresh and Fire.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Girl, I'm over here messing up some stuff.
Uh-oh.
Because Dolores was trying to help me go live, but unfortunately it ain't working over there. So I
Uh-oh.
think I did something wrong. Um
Well, she's the one to help you fix it. If anybody can help you, it's her.
Exactly. So I supposed to be going live on what is it? Instagram, but hey, it ain't
Mhm.
working. So we ain't gonna even not worry about that then. Cause I hope everybody's doing okay out here in these YouTube streets. Welcome in Facebook followers. I appreciate you guys tuning in as well. Um, let's get this party started. Hey Fresh, hey Fire.
Hey, how you doing?
Y'all doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Doing good. A long week, but we're doing good.
Okay. I know you said you had to work when I talked to you earlier. So
Yeah.
hey Dolores, hey G Hud, welcome in. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Good.
So before we get started, introduce yourselves to everybody. I'm gonna put y'all bigger so everybody can see you. There you go.
Well, I'm Fresh,
And I'm Fire.
and we are Fresh and Fire Backyard Living. We're basically a channel that we wanted to show what you can do as far as enjoying yourself in your own dwelling in your yard. I've always been a fan of landscape and design. I never really went that direction as far as a career choice. Maybe I should have, but yeah. So I've always loved gardening and growing my own food, especially once I started tasting it and
Yeah.
fire.
And like she would be out in the garden just doing her thing. And a while ago, probably in like the early 2000s, I decided to build myself a fire pit because I knew I was going to want to, sit by the fire and things like that. And then I started like looking at different things about how you can kind of pretty much cook on the fire pit too. I mean, I had a gas grill, but gas grilled stuff tastes okay, but it just wasn't the same as just grilling some meat, you know. And I don't really like to do the whole charcoal and lighter fluid thing and stuff like that because we trying to be healthy. So I decided to start looking into just grilling with fire, just over a pit. So as she started being out there gardening, and I don't know anything about gardening, I would sit out there with her and just cook the
He's
dinner for
learning
her.
though. He's learning. He's
I'm
learning.
learning some things. I know brassica, whatever that is.
Yeah, you sound like me with the brassicas. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up to let everybody know that we're live. Share this video out. What's up, G Mama? What's
Hey,
up? How you
Mama.
doing? Welcome, everybody. Generally, I'm on here 2 hours, but we're going to do an hour. If
I
that's
told you to
okay.
drink my caffeine beforehand.
I know. So if that's okay with you, we can do the hour with you, and then the next hour, if y'all want to go down, and then we'll finish it up. But generally, I do 2 hours. But now I know you tired, so we're gonna run through this thing. I just appreciate you doing it.
Oh, no problem at all. We're some early risers if we feel old a lot, but yeah, we on that whole schedule where it's like wake up early, go to bed early. So
No, you ain't
we
old. You
can help it.
experience. Like my grandmama tell me, she said, "Babe, I'm 92 years old. I ain't old. I'm experienced." I said,
I like
"Okay, well, all right then. Put me in my place." Hey, oops, welcome in, Dolores. It didn't work, so maybe we'll try it again tomorrow. No, what day I'll go live again? Monday. We'll try it again Monday. I was trying to stream on Instagram too, trying to get used to doing Instagram and Facebook. Well, I got Facebook down pat, live streaming on it, but Instagram, they want you to put in a key. Then you got to push go live after, but hey,
Ooh,
anyway. So I got some questions so I can get organized. Guys, don't forget, if you have any questions for Fresh and Fire, make sure y'all put them in the chat. I ask them the questions. Because can y'all see the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'll take my glasses off to read it though.
Look, Fresh. I mean, Fire, I be doing this number when I can't
Right.
see. I be like, what they say?
You see, I got the old man cord on mine. I don't even care what people think. I need to take them off sometime.
Hey, Drops, welcome in. Use Restream. I tried to use Restream. That ain't working. That ain't working at all. Okay, so the first question is, now if it's too personal, you can just say, you know how they be doing in the church, like,
Okay.
don't do me, Tampa. What inspired you to start gardening, and how has it influenced your life?
Well, I think I was raised with it from the time I was just small. Both of my granddads were gardeners. My grandmother, she always had beautiful flowers like rose bushes and camellia bushes all around. So it's just ingrained in me. So it was my granddad. It was kind of funny. On my mom's side, he picked what flowers went in all of the girls' yards. So you didn't get to choose. Once he got something, he just showed up at the house and planted a rose bush or azalea, whatever he thought you needed. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, so we were gonna have some flowers. Granddaddy said so.
I know my grandparents, they had a garden, and I wasn't going out there. One, I didn't like snakes. I wasn't going out in no weeds. I wasn't trying. Now, she did have us shugging peas, like,
Oh yeah,
so I did that. But father's going out there putting in things.
yeah.
She can miss me with that. So, how has it influenced your life since you've been gardening?
I think a lot is really. I think it's made us healthier. It's make us more focused on what we're eating. I know when we both got some health issues, I kind of took a step back and looked at exactly what was it we were consuming, and I wasn't happy at what I saw as far as all these ingredients and all this prepackaged food. And I'm like, we need to get back to eating vegetables and fruit like we grew up doing, because his family, his grandmother and grandparents had a garden as well.
Yeah, we always had gardens, and I always noticed that, fresh things just always taste better. Because my grandma would go out like every time she would go out in the yard and pick the collard greens and pick some stuff up, and it would just taste better. So I was all for it when she wanted to do this, but she's always been a gardener, so she ain't never.
It just come natural.
Yeah, it was funny. I started with one fig tree in a pot, and that thing, and I didn't even like figs growing up because I always just had a fig Newton. So I had that one fig tree, and it finally produced some fruit, and I was hooked to the fruit trees. That's when I was hooked. So that was one of the best tasting pieces of fruit I've ever had.
The fig.
Mm-hmm.
I never actually ate the fig off the tree. My grandmother had a fig tree in their yard, but I never would eat the fig. Now, when we went to the store and we got the fig Newtons, I would eat them.
Yeah, I never did like those. I would always break off the cookie part and leave the fig in the middle. But it's a whole different experience when you eat the actual fig off the tree, and there's so many different varieties. And so once I got introduced into that, and just fruit fresh off the vine or fresh off a bush, I was hooked. That's when it's like I morphed from the gardening to getting any and every type of fruit tree I could possibly get.
Oh, okay, Drops. That'll be awesome. I appreciate you. Welcome in, Jags. If anybody else we missed coming in, I'm sorry, but hey, G Mama said figs are delicious.
Yes.
And like I said, I've never ate them off the tree, but when we had the fig Newtons, like the little cookie, that was the only way I would eat them.
Got to try it one day. Got to try it. It'll change your life. They even have some that taste like strawberry jam.
Like fig Newtons? Or the figs?
The figs taste like strawberry jam.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm going to have to get on that. But y'all schooling me on stuff I had not known yet. So other than that, when you say y'all been gardening most of y'all life, was that including hydroponics or just straight gardening?
Hydroponics was pretty recent. So I started really, I would say, gardening pretty regular about 11 years ago. Of course, and when 2019 happened, I got back in it really seriously. Because I think that showed everybody something. But
you had that hydroponic, the Aero Garden.
Oh yeah, the first one you got
2011
me.
2011 or something like that.
Yeah, so I was dabbling in hydroponics, but he got me the bigger system a couple of years ago, and I grew this huge tomato in that, so that was a lot of fun. So I got to get that back going. But yeah, so I've been dabbling back and forth, but I'm going in it really, really strong this year.
So when you like say for instance, by you doing all the gardening, you don't have any livestock, right? Just doing the garden. Okay.
Not yet. Well, I'm trying to figure that part out of this.
I get it, because my goal is to have chickens if I continue eating meat. Like I'm undecided about eating meat, but the chicken's okay. But when you like fruit trees and vegetables, when you harvest them, do you like preserve them, or is just something y'all just eat fresh?
Usually right now, stuff is just now starting to produce pretty well for me. Like the fajoas or pineapple guavas, I got a good harvest. So right now it's just a matter of eating it fresh off the vine once it falls off. The same with the blueberries, smoothies or parfaits, stuff like that. But now that stuff is getting going. I think a lot of things have been in the ground for about 3 or 4 years. So now I'm getting good harvest in. Last year we just got our first apple harvest, but I had to fight squirrels for that. So I didn't get too many of them.
Okay.
But yeah, so now that's the end goal, because I started out canning. I was raised with that too. But we would always have to go down to like the farmer's market to get the big boxes of fruit. And that's what I'm trying to eliminate. I want to be able to go out in the backyard and harvest my own fruit and do preserves and jams and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drop said, how many of y'all know how to process a bird? You hadn't gotten that far yet, like learning how to dispatch a chicken?
No.
Well,
he has actually.
I've worked in the slaughterhouse, so I know how to, do some things or whatever, but I just don't. We're not quite ready for all of that yet.
I'm open to learn anything.
We still living in an urban setting, so I don't even know if we can have chickens. So we'll see.
What? I know here, I think in the inner city you can have a certain amount, but I'm not sure how many.
Yeah, and I want chickens, but where we're located, I think we're considering the city limits. We still got to figure that out. But if I can sneak some chickens in, I'm gonna try, especially with everything going on nowadays.
And I ain't used to be with it until eggs. Yeah,
the price of eggs.
I was against it until the eggs started going crazy.
A friend of mine was talking to me yesterday because I got my number changed and I had to give him my number because he's down there in Tennessee trying to help me work on my credit and all that type of stuff. And he was like, "Do you know how much the carton of eggs costs here?" I was like, "How much?" He said $4 or $5. I said, "That's all? It costs $10 here."
Depending on where you go, yep.
He said, "What?" I was like, "Yes, people need some chickens out in their backyard." Job said, "I've been canning since I was 9. G Mama, thank you. I appreciate it. And Happy Max, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. Love you guys. I do. Squirrel wore out my hazelnuts this year before I knew it. It was barbecue squirrel.
Oh, believe me, I've been looking at a couple of recipes because
squirrel.
I was so upset. I was already, and it was funny. They knew exactly when they were ripe too. I was waiting, and they were waiting apparently, and they got to them before me.
Wow, equals okay. Yeah, it's yeah, I did that face because Tampa don't eat them things right there. I'm very picky when it comes to eating. Jigs always
had it, but I'm considering
it. Had squirrel either. So.
Nah, my grandfather. When I was coming up, my grandfather and them ruined me on meat. If it wasn't chicken coming out of the pack and I saw my grandmama get this chicken out the pack, I wasn't eating it. If it was ground beef, back then I did eat pork. But if I didn't see her take it out of the pack, I was not eating it. The man used to come home with big black garbage bags of deer. I'm like, ew, I'm not eating that. He will have rabbits and squirrels hanging on the clotheslines.
See,
like,
okay, yeah.
Like
you saw that and it traumatized you. I understand.
So I'm like, we're not doing that.
I've never had it before, but once they start stealing your fruit, you start reconsidering some options.
It takes hands in the dirt to talk about them squirrels. Aldous got the nerve to charge $5.50 a dozen, then slap us with a limit of one carton. Wow! Now it's time to make friends with neighbors who got chickens, so you can get it.
Everybody's reconsidering it.
My widow neighbor sells eggs. Half the time she gives me them for free. Now that's good, Drops. If you can find somebody to give them to you for free, that's a blessing. Look at Jake, squirrel, brown gravy, rice. No, that's a me.
No. J3, no.
Okay.
Let's see. Hey, when you see him cook it up, it looks good though.
He used to cook turtles, frogs, and I'm like, what kind of vegetables we got today? Like, I'm eating all the vegetables. She ain't even got to tell me not to eat them because Tampa gonna eat them. Like, what we having today? We having broccoli and what? Okay, I'm gonna eat that. We ain't eating that other stuff.
The only thing I saw my granddad pull it. My mom, we went over to my grandparents' house, and she turned around and she was just saying, "Look," and she pulled out this big old tongue out of the pot. Like,
no.
What is that?
No.
I've heard it's good though, but it's not. It don't look good cooking.
I'll try just about anything except for possum. I'm not eating possum.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing possum.
I ain't trying none of that. I've never had lamb. I've never had oxtail.
You never had lamb?
Never.
That's one of his specialties. He can throw down on some lamb.
Yes, I ain't none of that. It's gonna drop taste like chicken. Nope, a chicken tastes like a chicken. A frog tastes like a frog, if that's what it is. Jag said turtle is the one I'll never really care to eat, but I tasted it.
Yeah, I'm good on the turtle and the frog. We've had those as pets, so I feel like I'm betraying my previous pet.
G Mama said, not the tongue out the pot. I can't.
Yes.
Nope.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, see, we can't. That's why I don't eat at a lot of potlucks. Because I don't know what you to cook.
Right.
Be like, what you eating? You got something to drink? Is it some water? I eat when I get home, baby.
I feel you.
Yep. So my gram did the same. Tongue, heart, and all. Oh no, Laura, you doing okay? So the next question is, have you ever faced challenges in gardening that taught you life lessons?
I would say so. There's always challenges in the garden. Other than the squirrels, my other arch nemesis are aphids. It's always, you're not the only one looking at those good looking vegetables. Something else is too. So, and it's the same way in life. You always are facing challenges. You got to examine the problem and figure out how to work your way around it and get on through it. So definitely. So yeah, it is always something. So
I would say one thing I learned about, when we were doing the gardening, because she used to do like the hot tunnel and making like a whole thing and doing some plastic. She likes to rig stuff up herself and everything else.
DIY.
Yeah, she used to do all kind of, and just be out there for hours just working and stuff like that. And then we found out a better way to do things was with the pop-up tents.
Yeah.
And that changed the whole
pop-up
game.
greenhouses.
So just how you evolve, So life lesson is work smarter, not harder. Just like figure out the tools, use the right tool for the job. figure out the tools you need, what's going to maximize your time in the garden instead of maximizing your time covering it up and everything else. So
True.
that's one of the things I think we learned.
Okay. Is there a particular vegetable or fruit that you've had trouble growing that you say you'll never grow again? Or is it one of those things that you keep trying till you master?
I think most things I keep trying until I master. So I was a little bit disappointed in my figs last year. I finally got a place to put them in the ground and they didn't produce anything. So, I'm taking a step back and re-examining, okay, what did I do? What do they need? But I think it's just a matter of them getting established in the area that they're at. So I never give up on anything. And actually, I like challenges, things that shouldn't necessarily grow in North Georgia. I want to try to grow them and actually put them in the ground. So I think me and a couple other people broke it, whatever, if we're got to plant the citrus in the ground, so it's, I like challenges. So.
Okay. Because I know my mom, she has apple trees on her property and don't do nothing with them. She just let the deers get them.
Oh, wow. So they're producing a lot of apples and she doesn't pick them or anything? She don't do
anything. She don't do anything. Might just be transplant shock. Okay.
Yeah,
she doesn't do anything. But my mother, she was in that era of being out in the garden and all that with my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
When we came along, we didn't have to do all that. We had to just be kids, go outside and play, be back home when the street light came on. Mm-hmm. That's the area I grew up in. But my mom and them, they were out there picking and, doing all that stuff that they,
right.
They did back in the ancient days.
Right. They didn't have a choice.
Nope, they didn't. Okay, so how do you guys stay motivated when things don't go as planned in the garden?
I'm lucky and blessed to have him, because a lot of times if I'm coming up with some of these ideas and I'm trying to build a contraption or whatever, he's right there. So, if it sounds really crazy, he'll, okay, what are you trying to do now? Let's talk this out. Are you really trying to do it this way? But Fire's my Mr. Fix It, so he'll help me out.
I fancy myself a makeshift engineer.
Yeah.
So we'll just, figure something out. And we got to do it. It's like, it's not even this is a hobby kind of thing, because we trying to, be ready, basically. Just trying to be ready. Like if we, these grocery stores and everything, with everything going on today, hey, we gotta be ready. So
right.
That's
And still be able to go outside in our backyard, especially, and enjoy it and have friends and family over. I think that was also the important goal. I didn't want it just to be all a garden. I wanted to be a space where we could just go and relax or entertain.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, my Renaissance grandma. How are you? Hope everybody's doing okay in the chat that we missed.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, don't forget to ask questions if you're interested in finding out anything. Y'all got them for a few more hours, a few more minutes. So come on, ask some questions. So when you first started doing the hydroponic, did you find it was easy or was it challenging? And if it was challenging, how did you overcome and get better at it?
At first, I think it was a little challenging. When he first got the first system for me, it was already seeded pods and everything. So, I just grew what was in the pods, and it didn't necessarily grow that well. And I didn't realize at the time too, you're not supposed to fill every hole, and try to grow something out of every hole. So the second time around, when he got me the second system, I learned a little bit more and just did the tomatoes, one or two that I got, and got a lot of fruit, and it was really good. It was almost like tasting cherry tomatoes for the first time. They were that good. The variety I got tasted almost like it had citrus in the tomato. So yeah. So between the years of working with the different hydroponic systems, I feel like I learned a lot more to be successful.
Okay. The drop said you got to do raised beds in northern Georgia. Is that true, or how does that?
You don't have to. You can get away and amend your soil and plant in the ground. But for us, and for me, especially since I'm the main gardener, I want to raise beds. Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
There you go. I was out there with my grandparents, or mainly my grandfathers, who both garden, and I saw them out there with the tiller and all this stuff like that. And so when we got our backyard and I wanted to garden, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing all that. I can't. I'm not physically able. And I didn't necessarily. He wasn't into gardening, so I didn't necessarily want to ask him to come out and do it. And I'm getting older.
Yeah, and the aesthetic. We want our backyard to be an oasis. We don't want it to be necessarily a farm.
Yeah, there's anything
wrong with a farm, but
yeah.
we're in the city limits. We don't have acres upon acres.
Right. We just have a nice sized backyard, but it's not that big, and I didn't want it to be all a garden. Okay. So and since we morphed over, at first we started with the little cedar raised beds you can get at any big box store, and those fell apart and rotted. And so I'm like, okay, we got to do something more permanent. So last year and the year before, we've been working on putting raised high metal beds in.
Okay.
Love them. So much better. This year, now that we got them all in, I want to try to work on putting a frame around them so I can actually sit on the edge of the raised bed and just kind of reach over.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Something comfortable, because again, we're getting older, yeah. And I don't want all that on my back or whatever. Not to mention, I put pathways in between the raised beds.
Okay.
So and have gravel on the outside of that and mulch, so I can just walk and I don't have to fight grass or anything like that. So I could just casually walk out there and be comfortable when I want to pick my herbs or my vegetables.
Just go grocery shopping.
Yep.
Right. Let me clarify. When I say we're getting ready for old age. Like, we can be in this house for a long time, so we're getting ready, doing everything that we got to do, because we know when we get older, it's not going to be the same. So we want to be comfortable, when we get older. We want our family to be comfortable when we get older and everything.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Jeg said, I have a farm in the city. You can do it. Because he's in Georgia.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Netta, welcome in. Welcome in. Fight the crabgrass, you mean.
Yes,
okay.
It's Bermuda grass, and it is ruthless. It's still, even though I have areas landscape, it still tries to jump over.
Yeah. I've seen somebody grow tons of food just on the back patio. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't matter, it's nice to have space. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to have space. But this one particular YouTuber that I follow, she grows all of her food on a balcony.
Yes.
And pressure can majority of all of that, and then she also does a little foraging. So space, it just depends on if you're limited with space. You just make the best use of what space you got to put in plans that's going to benefit your family.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and you can work food. It's funny, you can work food into landscaping. It doesn't have to necessarily be a garden layout. You can have a regular tree and then maybe have some strawberries underneath. That's what I like to do, just to show that you can combine the different things and have the best of both worlds.
That's true. That's true. They said, I think Miss Shirley said it best, where she was saying something about you planting food and planting in plain sight. People don't think it's food. They think it's flowers, but it's actually food. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, I love that. Just intermingle the two, and that's what I want to start showing this year, because I love my flowers too, and so I'm starting to work food in with the flowers that I love. So it's possible you can have both of them. Hey, Odom.
Hey, Miss T. Hey, Odom. Hey, Miss Smith. I mean, yes, Miss Smith.
Hey, Smith.
I just overlooked the last part. I say Miss Smith. Sorry, Miss Smith. And Miss T talking about something. It's 9 o'clock already, baby. You were asleep. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So okay. Now this right here. Okay. How can gardening help people develop patience and resilience? How did that help you? And then what would you suggest if someone else wants to begin to become a gardener? How can it help develop patience and resilience? Because me, on the other hand, I ain't got no patience. I'm working on it.
Well, I think it can, especially when you take a plant from seed to harvest. You have to be patient because it's not going to grow overnight. There's certain things that grow kind of fast, and I mean, if you're really that impatient, you can grow those. But you have to develop some type of patience, and especially understanding if it gets attacked by bugs. You know what I mean? You got to figure out, do I really want this, and what can I do to get this? You know, but it's definitely worth it to even if you start from a seedling that you buy from the store, you know, taking it from the little bitty seedlings to the harvest, seeing it grow, seeing it develop, and once it's ready to harvest, knowing the fact that, hey, I did that, and this is something I can provide to my family. I think that'll teach a lot of people, patience and sticking with something. It's definitely worth it, and it tastes better. It definitely.
Oh yes, fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, especially if you grew it and know where it came from. It's gonna always taste better.
Yes, and there's so many different varieties that you don't necessarily find in the grocery stores because it's not shelf stable, so they don't give it to the public. So you got to grow that type of stuff yourself, even with fruit and not just vegetables, fruit too. So if you want it, you got to grow it yourself a lot of times.
And me not knowing a lot about gardening, I didn't realize the stuff was gonna come back every year, and like I really didn't realize that sometimes it takes a couple of years before you start getting fruit. So I was looking at the trees like, what's going on? I'm like, why we ain't got no fruit yet? And then like last spring,
last year,
the apple trees started blooming and things started coming back that she didn't even plant. It was like, okay, this is what we doing.
Yeah, he finally got it. Because at first, when I was looking at all these fruit trees home, it was like
all the fruit trees. Like a gang of fruit trees.
What are you doing? How much money are you spending? What is happening? And I'm like, just wait. It was like, I don't understand. Like, just you'll understand. Just give me a couple of years. You'll understand. And then, when all the craziness happened a couple of years ago, and we already had stuff in the yard to harvest, he was like, okay. But then when the fruit trees started producing last year, and I would come and just feed him a little something, He was like, ooh, what's this?
Feed me, just stick it in my mouth. I'll be sitting on the couch.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Okay, I told you.
Love it. Grow it and never buy celery again. Plant it like a bush. I know some people say they have a hard time planting and growing celery. Is that the case with you guys? Can y'all grow celery?
Celery before, but it's funny. I dropped some seeds in the yards, and those were the best producing celery I had. The ones I accidentally dropped in the yard. The ones I had in the pot barely did anything.
Growing peppers from seed will definitely humble your impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sylvia, welcome in.
Hey, Sylvia.
Jag said, sounds like there was a pause in there. He waiting on the pause. What role does gratitude play in gardening?
I I think I feel gratitude every time I go out there. More so like once I have everything done and I can just walk out first thing in the morning and see everything blooming and just start to harvest stuff. I really feel just so privileged and grateful to be able to do that, and understand how to do it and the importance of it. Yeah, those are where I have my inner just thoughts and moments, and I'm just truly grateful for the experience.
What about you, Fire?
I'm grateful to just have a wife that even knows how to do this. I mean, really. I mean, I do, I do the grilling and stuff like that, but she's the best cook like ever. So like when she just makes some stuff and we take it out the garden and she just cooks, I mean, y'all can tell I'm not, missing any meals. Yeah. I'm grateful that I have a wife that's willing to grow food and cook it.
Now that's a blessing. Yeah. That truly is a blessing. You can't go wrong for that. What Johnny Taylor say is cheaper to keep her. Go on out there and do what you're gonna do. I go buy you some seeds, baby. What else you need?
Exactly. That's why I talk about the fruit trees, but at the same time, I'm still going with her to get more. I'm like,
exactly. Hey, cousin Angela,
that's what make her happy. Happy wife. That's my motto. I'm sorry.
Hello, all. Great questions and answers. What did Drop say? I fired my second late wife from cooking after the first year. She agreed. What?
He fired.
He said he fired. Okay, so how do you encourage people who say they don't have a green thumb to keep trying?
Well, definitely see what the issue is. I try to talk to people about, well, what are you afraid of or what's happening, and try to meet them where they're at and help them overcome their fear of growing things. It's not as, some people are just, I don't know. I've met some people, some friends of mine that are just, whatever trauma they went through, they're like, nope, not doing it, whatever. I'm just like, okay. But I'm trying to, I'll let them try some fresh food or something that they've never tried before. And it's funny, I've kind of made some people love kale that hated kale. Based on some of the dishes I've given them. So I have them thinking, at least if I can just get them thinking about it, I feel like I've accomplished something.
I think she's inspired some of my family members. Like they'll, taste some of the stuff, some fresh jam or some stuff and like I said, the kale crunch and everything like that. And they start thinking about it like, why can't I do this?
Odom said, if your thumb is green, that's gangrene. Go to the hospital. Can you teach me how to grow fresh?
I think you already got it, CC.
A Drop said, he official kale hater. We are not friends.
I don't,
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I'm telling you, I'm with you. I did not like kale at all. Still don't really like it, to be that honest with you. But when everything, I think you can do everything in a way that it'll taste good. I don't like Brussels sprouts, but I've had some Brussels sprouts. I was like, oh, okay. So it's kind of all in the way you do it. Any other way than her kale crunch, I'm not eating kale.
He'll eat my kale crunch though. Yeah.
I never had kale. I never had Brussels sprouts.
You ever ate paper? It's the same.
And nobody eat no construction paper. It's like everybody talking about something. Oh, girl, get you some turkey bacon. That's construction paper. I don't want that. I don't want no construction paper.
Kale is crumpled up construction paper, basically.
So I most definitely know I ain't gonna like that. But I do want to try Brussels sprouts.
Do not believe that.
I'm not gonna try it. I'm not.
I promise you, there are certain ways you can do kale where it does not taste bad. I've had multiple people come over and try my kale crunch, and they went back for seconds. That's how I knew. So
I
like,
serve my own steaks.
He said he served his own steaks drops.
Mhm.
Odom said Brussels sprouts, yuck, smell like baby doodle.
oh,
Guys,
onion
don't forget to
and
give us
Brussels
a
sprouts,
thumbs up.
Odom.
Okay. Wait a minute. I asked that. Okay, so what's the most rewarding part of growing something from a tiny seed?
Just seeing the end results, knowing, especially for something big. One year, I got to do this again this year. I grew Cinderella pumpkins. Oh, that was so cool. I babied those things, fighting off bugs. I know our neighbors were like, what in the world? Because I was putting pantyhose around them to protect them from the bugs. Because I just had, goodness, what was getting in those?
Hold on, back up.
Cucumber
Wait a
bugs.
minute. You said you put pantyhose on the plant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right when they started forming the fruit and they got fertilized, what you can do is tie some pantyhose around them. And as the pumpkin grows and expands, the pantyhose grows and expands with it, and it protected it from the worms. It was, I believe, the little worms that get in the cucumbers were getting in my pumpkins.
Wow. See, I'm learning something every day. Hey,
Yeah.
Nikki, thank you for dropping Fresh and Fire's channel. Appreciate you.
So I babied those things, and as they grew, I was making trellises and whatever. But it was so cool to actually see something I grew from seed to get massive like that. Like I did that. It was really cool.
Happy Bank said her pumpkins got legs.
It had legs. I know the neighbors were like, "What in the world is?" Because they were white pantyhose too, so it was looking crazy out there. Like this thing
said, "Who pantyhose that big?" But you get 3X. What size did you get for the pumpkin?
Hey, I'm that lady in the clearance bin at Kroger getting those 3X pantyhose. Yep, that's me. All the pantyhose.
Oh my goodness, now that was funny. That was too funny. I would have never guessed that.
There's all kind of ways you can protect your food, and I will do it.
Now, see, I learned that. So whenever I'm like, you know what? I remember Fresh told me to get some 3X pantyhose.
Yep.
Put on my pumpkins. So I'm most definitely gonna remember that.
Hey, your cucumbers too. Now it starts to look a little obscene, but you can do it with your cucumbers too. Because that time I had brown ones, so pause.
I know, because I ain't even got my pause paddle with me.
It works though. It helps protect them because the bugs can't eat through the nylon of the pantyhose.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
Yep.
Anytime I go on Kroger somewhere that's got some stockings on sale, I'm about to buy them. I'm about to stock up on them.
Protect those vegetables and fruit. Yep.
Because to me, like Jags used to say, if a bug don't eat something that he plant, he don't want it.
That's true. That's true.
Is that something that you gravitate towards as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
it's good if everybody's trying to eat it.
It drops. Behave yourself. What you said, Nikki? I can see her chasing down a pumpkin with legs. Happy Max said, "I'm not saying nothing about putting protection on the cucumber." Pause. What you said?
I'm telling you, I literally saw the neighbors peeking, like, "What is she doing? And what is that?" You gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh my goodness. So is there you said you don't do the pressure canning, or you have started doing that?
I'm gonna start this year. I have a pressure canner that I've been nervous to use, but this year is
Don't
the
be
year.
nervous.
Yeah, I know. But
It's so rewarding. I was kind of
Oh.
sad when I lost my house 2 years ago. Well, almost 2 years ago. And me and Mackenzie had started learning how to pressure can through Homestead Heart.
Oh yeah,
That's how we used to, because I was a prepper before I became into the garden community.
Mhm.
And she taught us how to pressure can, and I was like, this is so much work. I wasn't concerned about putting this machine on the stove. It's the chopping, it's the sanitizing of it.
Oh yeah, see, I'm used to all that.
I mean, literally prepare everything to put in those jars was a job in itself. But at the end of every canning session, you get something amazing, something that's shelf stable.
Yes.
Yeah, so you should don't be scared, girl. Don't be scared.
No, I'm over it. I'm I've been watching a lot of her videos and others out there that do a pressure canning. So I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. That's why it's kind of excited to see this little fall spring. I'm ready to plant some seeds because I want to plant everything this year. I'm definitely getting some stuff canned, using that pressure cooker, and getting some stuff on the shelves for sure.
Which one did you get?
Oh goodness. And
I don't know. I just bought it.
he bought me one, and I don't even remember what it was. I was just grateful to get it.
I got the Presto Quart 20 Presto Canner 20.
I think it's the Presto. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, messed up because I was like, the Presto Canner Quart 23 is 23 quarts. They got one like 16 or something, but I got the 23, which was like $100 something. Why would I spend $500 on something that's the $100 can do? Like the All-American, a lot of people rave about that canner, but that canner in itself is heavy. So just imagine when you put those jars in that particular canner, if you don't have a gas stove, you subject to break some stuff.
Right.
With the
once I get going, I might eventually get one, but just to start out, I wanted just something basic and not too expensive. So,
what kind of stove do you have?
Gas.
Okay, you would be good with the All-American.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think with the glass top, that ain't gonna be a good. That All-American, to me, in my opinion, is not good for a glass top.
Okay.
Yeah, because most people that I see use the All-American, they have a gas stove, or they actually pressure can outdoors on one of those propane griddle things or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's fun. Once you get the pressure can and then you get your first batch, you're gonna be like, come on, let's go get this out. Let's go put this in there. Let's go. It's gonna be like non-stop, and then you're gonna be like, okay, fire, think you building something. You got to build another pantry. You're gonna be like, where am I gonna put all this stuff at?
Right. Yeah, that's what I do. I just once I get going, I know I'm gonna enjoy it.
Just let fry open it fresh.
I'm gonna open it anyway. I'm a bit of a pyromaniac, so
right.
I'm gonna make sure I open it just to see if something happen.
My stuff still in boxes. I had to get the real pot, water cannon pot. Water bathing is cool too. It's a different method than pressure canning, but the Amish people do a lot of water bathing.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe you want to do, like jams and jellies, or maybe like fruits in a jar. Because sometimes they don't have to have a longer canning time than like meat or certain fruits and vegetables. So
right.
I think it'll be a good thing. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back to the water bath can, and I've done pickles and different like jam combinations, and I missed that. So it's nothing you can buy in the store. So hopefully everything is going well in the garden, and I can have some fruit to play with. I still have my mulberries in the freezer that I need to do some jam and some wine.
Like from the mulberry bush?
No, the mulberry. We have 3 mulberry trees back there.
Oh, snap a doodle.
That were here when we bought the property. So I didn't even have to do nothing with them. So I finally was was able, and at first it was funny. We didn't even know what they were. I've never heard or seen a mulberry. They weren't anywhere where I grew up. So once I did my little plan out and learned what they were, I'm like, oh, junk, I got fruit back here. So last year I got all that fruit. The squirrels got the end results of that. So, but it was so much, everybody.
Yeah, because I think it's when you plant enough that you can get some and then the animals get some, that's a blessing.
Right. Yeah. But they got greedy after that was gone. They started trying to take my other stuff too. So that's when the problem began.
Y'all said I purchased both size Presco. Sometimes I have both of them going. Yep, I done seen people do that too. Drop said you need a Bluetooth. What that say? Broke? Like drop to move that really drops. She got a fire to move her canner off of her stove.
Right. Yeah.
Do anybody have any questions for them for Fresh and Fire? I thought I could use my tall pot, but no. I know my mom, her stove, the way that they build the cabinet is kind of low. So she couldn't get the 23 quart on her stove. She would have to get something smaller.
Oh, yeah.
But my mom ain't pressure canning nothing, no way.
She's good on all that, huh?
Yeah, she good up on all that. She talking about something, I just need somebody to come up here and plant my garden and tend to it. Who gonna come do that for you, girl? Baby, bye. So I got one more question. And one more question. If you could give one life lesson through a garden metaphor, what would it be?
Garden metaphor. I don't know. I would say grow your own. You hear it all the time, but it's nothing like growing your own. So I think the life lesson in that is basically you learn to be self-sufficient and take care of business and do what you need to do. So I think that's the best one I can think of.
Okay. Are you into herbs, like herbal medicines?
Most definitely. Swear by them, actually. I've been drinking my herbal teas all week. So I love some good sage. I have some bay leaf trees out there that I've been using all winter. So it's definitely got us over some sicknesses. Rosemary, thyme, you name it.
So when I say herbal medicine, I know those are like, some people call those kitchen herbs. But when you dive deeper into holistic medicines like nettle, ashwagandha, hibiscus, more potent herbs, are you getting into that, or you have not tapped into that yet?
I just looked at some ashwagandha seeds today, so I'm probably about to purchase some of those. Absolutely. Nothing too in that area yet. The mulberry trees, actually, I harvested the leaves too last year. They're really good as far as natural antibiotic healing you. And they're tasty too. So if anybody has mulberry trees, you can eat the leaves. Just dry them up and make some tea out of them.
Okay.
Tastes really good. Any type of berry leaves like that, you can use blackberry leaves, strawberry leaves, dry them, you make tea. So it doesn't necessarily have to be herbs or stuff that you can't get your hands on. It can be regular stuff that can heal you.
Miss Ann, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Diversity Love, welcome in. I appreciate you coming in. He said gum tree. So I know we talked a little bit about hydroponics. The ones that you got in your house. I hear a lot of people talk about bugs. How do you keep those under control?
Well, I just recently had an experience with that and I'm still fighting them. you can start with just a little bit of soap and some water. If that doesn't help, for me right now, I'm about to move to something a little bit stronger. Captain Jack. So I recommend people, if you start a hydroponic system, don't put like any outside groceries that you buy from the grocery store, like vegetables. Don't put anything beside it. No house plants beside it. A house plant accidentally got moved beside the hydroponic system that I have now, and so now it has some kind of little weird white fly. So I'm battling that, and the soap water will knock it back, but eventually they come back. So I'm about to spray it with some Captain Jack and cut everything down and pretty much start again. So that's the best advice I can give as far as fighting those bugs. So I know.
What about vinegar and water? Could you spray vinegar and water on your veggies, or is that?
I wouldn't do vinegar. That might be a little harsh for them. So mainly the salt and not salt. I would use the salt, and when you're harvesting them, how you can get the bugs off very quickly is just put a little bit of salt in your water. That cuts off the oxygen to the bugs, and they float to the top and die.
Okay.
So and that's what I've been doing. So it's just a little weird little white little fly. It's not a big deal, but I don't want it on my herbs. So I've been working on that basil. So
okay. Diversity Love say, hey, a question. Do y'all have a food dehydrator? Does it matter if you get a plastic one, or do you need the stainless steel insulated box style? Diversity Love, I have 3 dehydrators. 2 of them are plastic and 1 of them is the stainless steel. It's just your preference on what you want. Do you have a dehydrator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have one. It's plastic.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Clearance. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which one you get. It's just your preference and what you want to spend your money on.
Right. And I mean, really, you can, as far as if it's herbs, I've taken unflavored dental floss and cut it and just hung it up.
Okay.
And just,
like just drying up in the air. Okay. Mm-hmm. Air drying.
My kitchen handles and just have it hanging until it dries. It dries pretty quickly, actually, depending on the herb.
Okay. The bugs are the worst with indoor gardening.
Yes.
And Drop said Captain Jack is a natural herbicide.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard of Captain Jack till you just open your mouth and say something about it.
Yeah, I like to use the concentrate and mix my own batch. I always pronounce this wrong. I think it's spinoside, but it's natural herbicide or whatever. So, yep.
DE is better through cause you don't add salt to the soil. And Oops said use the oven for dehydrate. Yeah, yeah, you can also use your stove too.
Yeah.
To dehydrate if you don't want to buy any of that.
There's different ways of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cynthia said I have 2 stainless steel ones. I brown bag most of my drying of herbs. Okay. So guys, if y'all don't have any questions for some drops for Fresh and Fire, I'm gonna ask them one last question and we're gonna let them go. For bugs and indoor garden, I get a hand vac with hose, shake the plant and suck up the nets. Okay. And Dolores said
actually.
What Diversity said?
Getting a little, since they're just little flies or whatever, just getting a little vacuum.
Yeah, I never thought. See, a lot of the stuff that I'm learning, it's so much information because everybody do things different. You know what I'm saying? Some people do some things similar, but a lot of you guys do what fits you and what makes your life easier. Exactly. So I'm learning so much stuff. My head is on overload.
Well, that's the cool thing about growing your own. You look at other people's ideas, but you figure out what works for you.
Yep. What do you want?
What my lipstick?
Rude. It's my daughter. To my wear lipstick on my lip. I need to dehydrate these herbs. Knock on wood. I haven't had bugs, so I can keep growing first. Bug, everything gotta go. Oh. Yeah. Did you see? I got one. Miss T gave me this.
Yes.
So I was supposed to come up there with y'all Sunday, so we can set it up. So next week I'm gonna try to come up. Will you be on there Sunday with her again, or is that something y'all do?
Every other week. Yeah.
Okay, so not this Sunday coming up, but next Sunday. Okay, so what I'll probably try to do is come up next Sunday, because I was gonna try to go live and just set it up and then have my Renaissance grandmama and G mama talk about me so bad and tell me, Tampa, you ain't listening. This is what you're supposed to do. So I want to try, because I cleared out a spot to put it up, and I got 1 million seeds, so I just need to pick some seeds to put in there.
Yep, we know you got the seeds, Tampa.
I know. I need to grow. I know when Andale was on Miss T the other day, and she was talking about oregano oil. So I was thinking about putting some oregano and a couple of other herbs in that thing.
Okay.
But I think you got to be careful with what type of herbs you put in there, because some of it can get bigger.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, oregano should be fine. I did the basil because I love different types of basil. I think F. Smith did the corn salad. But yeah, you can certain things will get too big for it. But yeah, so yeah.
Okay. Oops, I have wire trays I hang even over wood stove. Okay. Mine is too. And Drop said bugs different depending on where you live. Indiana bugs are treacherous. Bugs different depending on where you live. And cousin said good information. Yeah, and you're gonna love it. I can't wait to use it. So I'm just afraid by us being in this one little room with the bugs.
As long as you don't
ain't no plants or nothing else in here, but that thing is going to be the only thing that's in here.
Yeah, you should be good. And it's easy ways of treating it if they do get on there. And like I said, right now I'm about to cut everything down so they can't get to nothing and then start over. So you can always just start over. So that's kind of the cool thing about it.
One natural option is Mint Plant Solutions. And then Ann said, I harvest from mine. She harvests from hers tonight lettuce for tacos.
Yes.
Oh, she said no bug. And Oops said use garlic water. Have you tried that before?
I haven't tried that, not on the inside. So I was kind of worried about the smell. I have tried that on the outside once.
Did it work on the outside?
It worked pretty good, yeah.
Okay. And cousin said my plants look crispy on the edge in hydroponic.
You might need to lift the light up a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, try to lift the light up and then cut the herb or whatever you have back a little bit, because it's probably too close to the light.
Oops said, what about putting an onion on the inside?
I've seen people do that in a hydroponic system. So I've actually today I just saw somebody growing a cabbage in one of those bigger ones. So I think it depends on the size of the system that you have. You can put a little bit of anything in there.
Oh, okay. Well, I think mine's got 8 pods, but I don't think I can fill it up with 8 pods, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't put you should probably skip every other one or something like that. Yeah, you shouldn't fill them all up.
So like 4 instead of 8, just do 4.
Yeah, it also depends on what you're planting too. So if it spreads or gets really wide, you don't want it to take all the light, because it's just only a certain amount of artificial light that the machine is giving off. So if you have something that spreads out wide, it's going to shade out the light from something else that you might have near it, under it. So
okay. So Dolores said, I'm pruning mine. No, the basil trees, but the arugula and marvel of 4 seasons just starting to grow.
Oh, awesome. You're going to enjoy that marvel of 4 seasons. That's a tasty one.
Okay, well, guys, if you don't mind giving them some words of encouragement for new gardeners, and then we're going to end this.
Okay. Well, I think anybody can do this gardening thing. Don't think just because you've had setbacks in the past that you can't be successful moving forward. Just whatever you're trying to do, learn it, kind of adopt it, as your craft, and keep on moving forward. If there's a certain thing you don't like about it, like say, some people don't like to be outside in the garden or don't like to be down in the dirt, get a raised bed. They make even raised beds that are completely off the ground, or bring it inside. There's all type of systems like we've been talking about where you can grow vegetables and fruit inside your house, so you don't necessarily have to be outside, but grow something. Especially with the way things are going, it's good to acquire that type of skill. So moving forward, you can, possibly use it if need be.
And let me say, um, you got to remember that growing your own food and gardening and farming and all of this stuff, that's the real natural way to be.
Mhm.
And the way we've been living or taught to live, going to a grocery store and getting our stuff from other people who package our stuff and ship it and all of that other stuff, that's the unnatural stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's not what we're supposed to be doing. And historically, we've only been doing that as a human, as humans, for not too long of a time. Like
Mhm.
before, like all the time before that, everybody was growing their own food pretty much.
Mhm.
So that's the natural state. So if you think you can't do it, your ancestors did it without even thinking about it
Mhm.
because they had to.
Exactly.
So now it's, saying we look at everything, look at the cancer rates, look at everything that's going on because we've gone, we just go to the grocery store and pick up whatever. We don't know where that stuff is from.
And we don't know what's in it.
Don't know what's in it.
That's true.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
grow to eat and eat to live.
Yep.
Ann said, how many harvests from lettuce is enough? I'm guessing whenever she plan her lessons and she constantly keep cutting from it and harvesting, when do you take that out and start over? Or do you take it out and start over?
I would rotate. I would, have maybe one or two or three, and then start some more in the other one, and then I think the plant is going to tell you though with the lettuce, when it's not coming up anymore and it's starting to look all sad, toss it, take it out. A lot of these sponges can be you can take those roots out and wash out the sponge and use it again.
Nigga said she love her raised beds.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have not went over there to support Fresh and Fire Backyard Living, G Mama Grows dropped their link in the chat as well as Nikki. Please click on there and go over there and show our family some love. If you have not subscribed to me and Mackenzie's channel, please click that like button and share and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Happy Mac, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Do right by yourself and eat well.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave you guys with my last motivation for the night. In times of stress, the best thing we can do for each other is to listen with our ears and our heart, and to be assured that our questions are just as important as our answers. Guys, I want to thank you for coming up and being my guest. I appreciate you. Y'all warm my heart. Every time I see y'all, I can't wait to see y'all on the third. Well, the second. So
thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Everybody else in the chat, I appreciate you. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And Tampa will see y'all Monday. Do not forget to watch The Forge. That's your homework for movie night.
You gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's The Forge, and we're having movie night Wednesday. So everybody who watched it, and those of you all that wants to come up on the panel and we discuss it, because I have questions about it. The first movie we watched was the 668. It was pretty awesome. It was amazing to hear everybody's comments about that movie. So I'm looking forward to everybody watching this movie, The Forge. It made me cry. Nikki already said it made her cry. So, and then Tea Time will be on the 19th. But as we get closer, I will mention it to people. But Y'all have a good night.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye.